Welcome to Mustache Yoga, the first and last installation of Mustache Yoga you will see with this current mustache. By the time you watch this video, this mustache will be dead. Let's start. Seated position. Comfortable cross-legged. Hands over the knees, flat back. Bring your shoulders together. Close the eyes. Start to deepen the breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. In and out. When you breathe out, you want to hear an ocean-like sound against the back of your throat. Yoga is not about the movement. It's mostly about the breath. The more we can align with our breath, the better we can align with our day. So, once we are ready, move into child's pose. Hands can be at your sides or out in front. We'll start at the sides. Sit back onto your hips and gently shake back and forth, pressing your weight into each hip. Massage out the forehead against the ground. It's a good way to wake up your face. Maybe scrunch your face. Just get the muscles working. And then when you're ready, place your hands on the mat, come up into all fours. Do some cat-cows. When you breathe in, you drop your belly, bring your chin up. And then when you breathe out, tuck your chin and round your back. From here, sit back into child's pose again with the arms outstretched in front. Drop your arms down a little bit, loosening up the shoulders, shake back and forth a bit. And then, we'll tuck our toes under, raise the hips high into downward dog. Here in downward dog, the idea is to create a little bit of movement. So that can be pedaling the feet back and forth, maybe dropping the knees down to the mat a little bit, stretch out the back of the calves, and then pressing back and pressing your hips high, tightening the calves, letting your head fall down, shaking your head, yes and no, loosen up the neck. And all this time remembering deep breaths. I'm talking, but I need you to be breathing deeply and strongly, hearing your own breath as it carries you from movement to movement. So from here, we're going to come forward into plank position, hands underneath the shoulders. You're going to hold a strong belly here. Bring your navel up so it's flat in a straight line back to the feet. As you hold this, you're going to slowly come down, the elbows by your sides, and place your body on the mat. From here, press up into a low cobra, and then place your head back down on the mat. And breath in, up into another little low cobra, and down. And then press back into child's pose again. Hips a little wider this time. arms out long. And then from here, tuck your toes under, press up into downward dog. This time, drop the knees down close to the mat, and then walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Let yourself hang over the head angle. Then clasp for opposite elbows. When you have the elbows, let the weight of your arms pull you down. Want a little bend in your knees, and shake back and forth, massaging out the lower back. Place the hands on the shins and come up to flat back. This is a halfway lift. You want to just bring your shoulders in, kind of touch each other, and then create a straight line between your head and your butt. From there, clasp behind your calves and pull yourself down. Bend your knees a little bit and let all the air out. And slowly, one vertebrae at a time, come all the way up to standing. I'm going to come out of view a little bit here, but whatever. Then raise the hands up over the head. And then drop slowly down, one vertebrae at a time, forward. And then come up, halfway lift again. Pull your shoulders together. On your exhale, put your hands behind your calves and pull down. Bend your knees a little bit, stretching out that lower back. Now come all the way up again, one vertebrae at a time. When you get to the top, where's the camera? When you get to the top, put the hands together, pull your biceps back behind your ears. And from here, we're going to kick our hips out. Left hips to the left, hands to the right. It's hard for me to think like that back and forth. But just try to mirror what I'm doing in the image. You really want to breathe. When you breathe, feel the ribs expand on your left side body. Come back to center. Inhale. And exhale to the other side. Keeping the biceps behind the ears. You let out, get a little further. You breathe in, feel the ribs expand. And back to center with an exhale. Inhale, a little back bend. And then spill forward. Let your head hang. And come up to halfway lift again. Place your hands on your shins, flattening your back. Bring your shoulders together. From there, place the hands on the mat, kick your feet back to plank. Here in plank, we're going to hold for a second. Start to get some heat in the body. And slowly, lower the elbows down so your body comes between them. And then when you get halfway down, pull your chest through, pull your shoulders back. The upward facing dog. And then press back into downward dog by tucking your toes under, pressing your hips high. You can move around a little bit, find the right spacing. Try to drop your head low between the shoulders. And the hips as high as possible. The higher the hips get, the lower your heels will get, and the bigger the stretch will be. Come back to plank. Press up out of your shoulders, and then and let your shoulders drip down. Press up out of the shoulders, and let the shoulders dip down. Up out of the shoulders, and then chaturanga. Bring your elbows by your sides, and pull your chest through, and your shoulders back. Then press back to child's pose. With the feet on the ground, hips back, and shake it out a little bit. Then tuck the toes under, press the hips high into downward dog. Feet are about 2 fists apart from one another, 2 feet width. So pedal out your feet a little bit in case they're still a little tight. And then kick your right leg into the air. I'm going to kick it straight back and flex the toes down. When you're flexed here, stack your hips, right hip on top of the left. And let your foot fall to the side. Stretches out your right side body. Come back to center. Place that foot down. Kick your left leg to the sky. Flex the toes down. And stack your hips. Left hip on top of the right. And let your left foot fall to the side. Bring your left leg back to the center and place it on the ground. On an inhale, bring the right leg to the sky and bring your knee to meet your nose. And inhale it back up and bring it to meet your nose again. Inhale back up, bring your left and bring it to meet your left elbow. And back up, and then to meet your right elbow. And back up. From here, place this right foot between your hands. Now, let the foot, the left knee drop to the ground and come up. Damn. Okay. Now that you can see again, hopefully that didn't ruin the whole video. As you can see again, we're into runner's lunge. So, the knee on the ground, here's the hands up over the head. Flatten the belly. And then tuck your toes under, press up into runner's lunge. Back leg as straight as possible. And then turn your back foot, left foot, to a 45-degree angle. Really focus on getting the outside of your foot pressed into the ground. It's very important. And then tighten your back leg, strengthen it, and come up into a warrior one. I'll face you for this. So here, in warrior one, you want to do a gentle warrior one, wherever your body wants to start. Both hands in the air. Both hands are in the air. Your knees bent. Slowly, you want to turn your body to face the front. I find it's really helpful to keep my back leg really engaged and actually turning the quad out when doing this. Keeps my back leg nice and engaged and rooted to the ground on the knife edge of the back foot. Slowly turning my body to face the front, keeping my back leg engaged. Then drop down, bring the chest just off the thigh, pull my shoulders back. A little bit of an airplane here. And then back up to warrior one, keeping the front knee bent. And then drop. and back up. From here, we're going to spiral open into Warrior Two. Really focusing on keeping this back leg tight and engaged. You want to turn that quad out to the left as much as possible. And then sink into your right knee a little bit, but you want to stay up and centered here. I don't want to lean too far back. I don't want to lean too far forward. But up and centered. And arms straight out. It's kind of nice to be able to see this in the video. See how my posture is doing. It's getting there. Yoga's a practice. From here, reverse warrior. Right hand to the sky, left hand down to the quad. Breathe in to the right side body. Stretch back. Focusing on keeping that right knee bent and not coming up and out of it. Then, on an exhale, place the right hand down in the knife edge of the, or in the inside edge of the right foot, and bring arm up to the sky. It's called side angle pose. I'll try to show it so you can see exactly what it should look like. You want to have the arms be a straight line from the ground up to the ceiling, like that. So knees deeply bent, arms in a straight line. You want to open the chest as much as possible here. Keeping the back leg engaged, left quad turned out. Then come back up to Warrior Two. And cartwheel the arms down. Press the right leg back and do a chaturanga. Elbows by the sides, pull the chest through. Up. Press back into downward dog. And then down into child's pose. That's the hardest sequence we'll do today, but it gets you up and gets your body moving. How much time we got? Tons of time. Alright. Back to downward dog. From here, lift your left leg to the sky. Bring it to meet your nose. Back to the sky. To meet your nose. Inhale to the sky. To the left elbow. Back to the sky. Into the right elbow. Back to the sky. Place your foot between your hands. I'll switch around for you. Foot between the hands. So from here, place the knee on the ground, come up into runner's lunge, or into low lunge. Flatten the belly. Lift the chin. And breathe. And tuck the toes under, press up. Press your right calf straight up into runner's lunge, keeping the belly flat. We turn the right foot out, really focus on getting the right edge of the right foot pressed into the ground, and then getting your quad straight and strong, and then turning it out to the right. Then bend into the front knee, come up into Warrior One. Most teachers will have you just race right into it, straightforward, but that's not very healthy. I think it's best to be just mellow with your body, face where you need to face, and then slowly turn, keeping focus on that back foot and the back quad, the right quad turning out to the right. Slowly come to the front. Really breathe. We'll drop down, chest to the knee, pull your shoulders back a little bit, and then back up to Warrior One. Chest to the knee, airplane, and Back up to warrior one. Chest to the knee. Back up to warrior one. From here, spiral open into warrior two. From warrior two, we want to focus on this back quad, turning it out. As you turn it out, start to feel groundedness. You can bend into the front knee a little bit, center the body, pull the hands up. Spread the fingers wide. Focus on that back leg. From here, place the right hand on the quad, raise the left arm up. Open your chest and breathe into your left side body. Then, placing the left hand inside of the left foot, come up to side angle, creating a straight line between your arms and opening your chest to the ceiling. Come back up into warrior two. And spiral the arms down. Pull the left leg back to meet the right, and slowly lower down to chaturanga. Elbows by the sides, pull your chest through. You can keep the hips up off the ground here, with your feet pressed into the ground. And then press back into downward dog. Notice some strength come into your downward dog. Really drop the head low, pull the shoulders apart here. Spread your fingers really wide. Key to yoga is really rooting down. One of the keys, I should say. Rooting down through your feet and your fingers. Don't even use the palms so much. Just use the fingers to really spread wide. You have so much more torque of your body if you have a whole bunch of room to work with underneath you. The wider you get your fingers, the more stability you have, the more focus you can put into parts of your body. Come up to plank, shoulders over wrists, and then drop down to a chaturanga. Your chest through. Stretch out that lower back. Press back into child's pose. And then up into downward dog. One more time. Now, drop your knees to the ground, and then hop forward to your hands. You can just walk that forward if you like. Then hang forward. Looks here. Yeah. Hang forward. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our hands behind our calves, bring the head down. Much as possible, stretch out that lower back. Come up into halfway lift. Flattening the back, bring the shoulders together. And place the hands underneath the feet. This gorilla pose. Bring your elbows out a little bit and bend your knees. And then when you breathe out, you can lengthen your legs, drop your head, and pull down with your hands. When you breathe in, create some length in your back, and then pull down when you breathe out. And straighten your legs. Gently release the hands. Press up the halfway lift. From here, just let your body fall. So now we're going to come down onto our back. do a little back work. Let's bring the knees into the chest. Roll from hip to hip, gently massaging out the lower back. And then roll back and forth along your spine, massaging out the muscles in the back. Come up into boat pose. You can have your knees bent, or you can have them straight, feel nice and strong. Bring your hands together and drop them down to the right. Breathe in, drop them a little further. Come back to the center. Bring them up, drop them down to the right, left, a little further, and then back to the center. Breathe in, to the right, down a little further, and back to center. Come up, to the left, a little further, and back to center. Then, bring your hands by your sides, maybe even under your butt, and then slowly drop your feet down 2 inches off the ground. And bring them all the way up, straight up. And let them come down 2 inches off the ground, all the way up. And 2 inches off the ground. And then put your feet back and forth over one another. Flutter them back and forth. Raise your head up off the ground a little bit. Then bring your knees into your chest. Rock your hips out again. Then let your right leg come to the ground. Pull your left knee into your chest. And with your right hand on your knee, hold across your chest and let your left arm spill out to the side. Gently opening the back. Back to center. Let the left leg fall, bring the right leg in, into your chest. And then with the left hand, bring it over your chest and let the right arm spill out to the right. Back to center, and bring both knees into your chest. Grasp for the outside of your feet for happy baby. Shift back and forth along your back, massaging out the muscles on each side of your back. You can kind of sit to one side for a bit, putting all your weight onto that muscle, and then shift to the other side. Come back to center. Really spread the legs wide. Kick up into them. And since this is so damn serious, Yoga to the People here in San Francisco showed us that you can flutter your lips like a little baby to release the tension in your face. Just it sounds a bit ridiculous, and surely my friend Megan in the kitchen is laughing, but it does help release the tension. And then if you like, bring your feet up over your head, stretch out the top of your back, Deaf Man's Pose. And slowly come down all the way to the ground. Let your legs go open wide. Your shoulders underneath your body. Let your arms fall open, hands facing the sky. Shavasana. Slowly start to wiggle your toes, your fingers. Put some life back into your face. Scrunch it a bit. Slowly roll over onto your right side. Come up to sitting. Keep your eyes closed if you can. Straight spine, your shoulders back. Deep breath in and out. In and out. Breath in from the hands to heart center. Up to the third eye. Bow down on the floor.